Good morning.
Hello, everybody. As you can see, Jess is not here today. Says she's trusting us three to run it. This ought to be interesting.
Yeah. Look, she put the warden in charge.
Yeah.
Hey, we all know what happened last time she wasn't here.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit that button. That was my bad. It said leave, so I hit leave, and it made everybody leave. It was like the freaking nuke button or something. It was crazy.
Yeah. That was a day. That was fun, though. It was like,
Yeah.
what?
Oh, Ma, you stopped it. Can't bring it back. Can't bring it back. This ain't good. I'm going to get
No
yelled at.
resurrection.
Thank God I got broad shoulders. All right, so we'll get through these good mornings, and then we have interview to show you from Zen Aqua. It's be about an hour long. It's the first hour, and then after that, we'll join you again. I don't know if Jess will be back by then or not, but we'll see. You want to do the good mornings, Dee Dee?
Oh, we'll do that. Run this back up to the top. And Eduardo was in first thing this morning, working and lurking. Good morning, Eduardo. Brooklyn Bell, storm prepping. And Mark Eulis, good morning. And he asked a very good question. Mark Sterlson, good day, everyone. And there's Annette, Mystery Snail Guardians, good morning to you. And there's Dr. Awesome. Dr. Anthony is getting a late start for work today. Gina's Reef, good morning. Danny Weshy, yo, it's time for the Aquatic Morning Show. He's lurking and working too. Misfits, Reptiles, and Aquatics, good morning, Brennan. And Dennis Christensen, hello. And how are you, kind sir? And thank you so much for the other day. Jenna P, good morning to you. Crypt Keeper Aquatics, good morning, Fish Fam. Jay Oliver's Guppies and Aquatics, good morning. And there's Skipper in the chat. And then there's Sharpie, good morning, Sharpie. Sharpie's Fishing Fams. And Benny Backstrom, good morning. He's lurking and working too. Everybody's working today. It's good. Atkins Nature Aquariums, good morning, Ian. He's going to lurk. Bex Fishroom, good morning, Bex. And I believe she hit her 400 yesterday. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
And good morning, Kim Quads. She just had a cup of coffee. Good morning, Miss Susie. ABC Aquatic Biotope Creations, good morning to you. And I have to say, he's one lucky person getting all those free tanks. Good morning, Patty's Petite Tanks. Good to see you in here this morning. And NY Gold, good morning to you. New Local Austin, Michael, good morning. With Papa Shrimp down in the chat. Jenny Lynn, good morning, lady. And I believe that catches us up there, Skipper. But glad to see everybody's here this morning. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. Zen Aqua was somebody that she met at Aquashella, did a little interview with, and then asked him to come up on the Aquatic Morning Show. But I think it's because of work and stuff, it just couldn't happen. He will probably be in chat here. When he does, you can ask questions to him then. And make sure that you go over and subscribe to his channel. And we'll go ahead and get this started. And Jerry must be having internet issues this morning, too.
Are they having storms where he's at as well?
I think they started, and then I think it's more toward Jess and them. It's all kinds of tornado warnings and everything. There he is. Oh,
Oh.
go ahead.
Both of us was clicking. Sorry.
I'm back.
Yeah, we could play with him up and down, up and down, up and down. Are y'all having storms where you're at, Papa?
Well, we did last night. They came in pretty heavy and fast, and tornadoes and all kinds of crap. But this morning it looks all bright and sunny, like everything's going to be wonderful.
Good.
That's good.
Good morning. JoJo popped in. So he's going to be in the chat and respond to your questions. But so it'll be sort of like a premiere, but yet a live recorded premiere, sort of.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started here. Okay, let me make sure that's showing. It is. Big screen there. We'll go ahead and mute my button here, and then we'll get started. And everybody let me know if you guys can hear it and stuff in chat. And if not, I'll fix it.
I can't hear it.
There's no sound.
No sound. Skip.
Could you hear it?
No.
Ah.
Slabs of wood, not.
There you go.
Welcome, Mike from Zen Aqua. And of course, I have my lovely co-host, Miss Shanna, because I only get her on the weekends. So, she's got a daytime job.
So we left out, like me.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing it on the weekend.
That's right. So we get Mike on the weekend as well. So this is our first actual record, and then I will be showing it during the stream. But it's kind of different for me because I'm used to waiting for chat to pop up, and it's a little different. But we can do this. We got this.
Cool.
Okay, so everybody, I met Mike at the Aquashella Orlando last year, 2021, and walked by his booth, and I was just immediately drawn to it because I'm a country girl and my dad is an arborist, and so I was just used to seeing, stuff made with slabs of wood, not necessarily desk lights and stuff like that. It was more, oh, what's the word? More unique, more.
Skipper touched the button, I think.
Those are some words. To describe it, I guess, but fancy at the same time. So, how did y'all come up with doing these aquascape tanks out of wood?
Yeah, I guess that's the best way to describe it. No one really knows what to call them because like no one's really done kind of like what I'm doing. But
exactly.
Yeah, but like during the pandemic in 2020 when everything was on lockdown, I kind of like got more into fish keeping than, I mean, fish keeping for me was always like has its ups and downs. Sometimes I get into it and I set up 10 fish tanks and I kind of want to scale it back. So I downsize, but then I kind of like started getting into it and I started getting more into like the odd shaped aquariums. I've always kept like regular square tanks my whole life.
Right.
So I started getting into like the more unique aspects of fish keeping. So like keeping stuff in bowls, cylinder vases, and doing stuff like that. And one of the issues that I found was trying to fit or find a light that fits on a bowl, because most lights are made for square fish tanks.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the lights that you find on, even like on Amazon or a lot of the ones that these companies make, a lot of them just didn't work. So I had to make a stand that would suspend a light over one of my bowls that I had. And I was like, well, instead of going to Lowe's or Home Depot and just using it at a regular wood, why don't I just go into my empty lot next to my house? I'll just go get some branches and make it out of branches. That would look really cool. So it turned into, making a stand out of branches. And then I decided to use like a wood slice to hold the branch and to hold the light over it. And it kind of just started from that. So I made one stand. I thought it looked pretty cool. And then I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups for fish keeping. So I would just put pictures of like my stuff. And yeah, that's one of the videos I put up the other day. So similar to that, not as nice as that. It was a little more crude because it was the first one I made. But
right.
Yeah, I would, I put pictures and they would get a lot of reception in the Facebook groups. People were like asking, do you sell them? Can I buy one? This and that. And I was kind of like, maybe I have something here. So I made a couple more of them. Every time I put them in the Facebook groups, they would just like explode and I'd get like hundreds of people asking me to buy them and stuff like that. So that's kind of like where it all started.
So this is the booth at the 2022?
Yeah, this was this past one a couple weeks ago.
And what kind of award are you holding there?
I won the best freshwater booth.
Did you?
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't even know they gave out that award.
Me neither. So I beat out I beat out Awase and I beat out everyone, apparently.
It all goes back to, I think, being drawn to the natural look. I mean, we're constantly scaping our tanks to look like they do in nature. But you got it all wrapped up in one.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of like what people are saying. It's almost like, an extension of the aquascape. It's like people are so fixated on like making what's in the tank look good, but there's
the outside.
What's on the outside? Yeah, because that's a big part of it.
I don't know about you, but my aesthetic is not modern, which is what a typical black rim rectangle tank, like that's about the only aesthetic that it really like slides into. And your tanks like fit. It's not like, oh, this is a fish tank, look inside. I mean, it is, but it's also like the whole thing around it. It's all art.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's simple too. It's like I should have thought of that. It's just, I don't have a light, so let me go get a stick,
Yeah, that's basically how it started.
Yeah. And then the slabs, I mean, you got to have somebody that can cut them, but that it's still something that anybody has done up until this point.
Yeah, even still.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
so cool to see something so new and unique also, because we see a lot of, the same box.
Yep.
Everybody does interesting stuff inside, but you've literally taken it out of the box.
Yeah.
That one was my favorite, the one that had the fogger in it, and I've actually bought the fogger now, so I'm waiting for it to come in.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know where to get those, but I think it's more of like a terrarium sort of thing where people use them like in reptile enclosures and stuff, not really fish tanks.
Right.
So a lot of fish tank people don't really know where to get them and stuff.
Yeah.
That was actually the first one I bought. I wanted to experiment with it.
And it was amazing. It's amazing. Like, I'm hoping to use mine with my, like, I don't know the difference between terrarium, paludarium, vivarium. I don't know the difference between them all, but
yeah, it's confusing. Took me a while.
But I know that I'm getting some milk frogs, and in the milk frog paludarium, whatever it is, that's what I bought the fogger for, to go in that. But I want to get like this kind of setup for the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it would just bring it all together, the nature itself, all into one package there.
It does. It creates, a lot of people are saying like it almost looks like a piece you'd see at a zoo or something like that.
Yes. Or an aquarium, like a big aquarium.
Yeah. So that's kind of like what I'm going for, but just like in a smaller scale.
Mm-hmm. And I loved the real stump there.
Yeah. That was like a saltwater display I wanted to try. I'm not really a saltwater guy, even though I like saltwater fish and I like it. I've just never done it before. If I had all the room in the world, I'd be into everything,
Oh, yeah.
But I'll set up a reef tank one of these days. But that was kind of like my take on a saltwater tank, because a lot of people were asking me at the first Orlando show, like, oh, do you do saltwater stuff? Like, saltwater's big here in Florida. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll try some. So I made that one.
It looks like I don't know, for whatever reason, it reminds me of like a saltwater. I mean, salt reeds. What am I trying to say? No, like there's a restaurant called Saltgrass. That's what I'm trying to think of. Saltgrass style type.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's what that reminds me of.
Mm-hmm.
And there's there is a restaurant called Saltgrass, right?
Not by me, maybe. I don't know.
I think there is. There used to be one here in town, and it was that setup right there would have fit in absolutely perfect in that restaurant.
Yeah.
So getting to that, have you had any purchases from restaurants to be put in restaurants?
No, not yet. I'm still like, ever since the first show, because I kind of like I don't want to say like I got thrusted into it, but like
overwhelmed.
I was kind of, I was like on the fence. I had a lot of people asking me to buy them, and I was like, oh, maybe to like turn it into a business or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Right.
And then the whole reason I got to go to Aquashella was because George from Coralfish 12G on YouTube found me on Facebook, and he messaged me and he said he wanted me to set up a booth at Aquashella. So he basically, he set me up. He gave me a booth, and I was at like that point. I was like, all right, now I got to like start figuring all this stuff out. Like, if he thinks what I'm doing is good, like he's like he clearly knows, what people are into, because he makes all the these YouTube videos, and he's got a big audience and everything.
Correct.
And then when we went to the show, that basically just like backed up my opinion, because we had all people like yourself and a whole bunch of other like creators and just like people attending the show saying like they thought what we were doing was like really sick. So
yeah. All right, I'm gonna bring up Facebook.
Yeah, I don't post as much on Facebook, but I made a Facebook because that's kind of just like where I got discovered.
Yeah.
But
it got
We're here at Aquashella Orlando.
Oh, yeah, that was a little walkthrough I did of the show.
Right. I was looking for the pictures. Am I on? Oh, that's YouTube. Oh, YouTube is on. Oh, okay. I clicked on it through Facebook. Okay.
I think I have more pictures on Instagram than I do on Facebook.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
have as many on. Yeah, I don't really post that much on Facebook, like every so often, but most of my good pictures are on Instagram.
Okay. Let me try this. Hang on. Oh, Sarah shows. Okay. All right.
So that was the first Orlando show that we did.
Yep, that's right. We stood right there and did the interview.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
In fact, I didn't get to post that interview because I didn't have the microphone that I had this go round.
Yeah, I remember.
And the background noise was so bad.
Yeah,
I
it
was
was loud.
like, man, but I got it figured out now.
It's very loud there for sure.
Yep. It
I
is.
was not prepared for how loud it was. Like, I didn't imagine the fish people bumping their tunes and rocking and rolling.
Yeah. Now, Dustin's fish tanks, he definitely, at the Aquashella 2021, he definitely had it bumping. He was so loud, he was going over their PA system. But it was rocking. It was fun.
Yeah.
And this is still 2021.
Yeah, this was the first show that I did.
And this right here is kind of like your base tank, right? Your basic setup.
Yeah, like I'm trying to make that like the cookie cutter setup. That was actually one that I sold to someone, and they set it up, and I asked them to send me pictures of it, so I could put it. So that was one that I sold to someone.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. I think they did like a little shrimp bowl.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a bed in there.
Danny from Danican Aquatics has a big shrimp, or I don't think she has shrimp in it. She has a big fish bowl, and they are absolutely amazing. The way everything looks inside of them.
Yeah.
Love them.
I like bowls too. They're unique, and not a lot of people really know like about them or how to keep fish in them or anything like that. So a lot of people just stay away from them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's even still like when I post stuff, sometimes people are like, oh, you shouldn't keep fish in bowls, or you know, it disorients them and this and that. But like, there's no real evidence that I've never found any actual evidence that shows anything like that. You know,
and you're gonna have to call them fish police.
Yeah.
For everything, and you know, but that's what makes the world go round. I mean, everybody has their own opinion, and I'm sorry, but everybody, you're loving your stuff. So you know, the others.
And you know what? Like, I understand, because like you go to the pet store, they have bowls that are this big that bedders that they keep bedders in.
That's not
so
the same.
Everyone's got a bad conception on bowls.
Right.
So it's like,
these are my favorite bowls. They're the cylinder. Yeah, instead of like a bowl, they're the cylinders.
I like them too. They're not as disorienting.
Yeah.
Because the bowl, sometimes if the glass is thick, it kind of looks like it bubbles out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. These were just so these were like originally some of the stuff that I had listed for sale on the website, but I just redid the whole website, and I'm going to be basically like redoing everything.
Okay.
Like the way I'm going to be selling them, and like stuff I'm going to be selling. So I have a lot of things like in the works right now.
Okay.
And
Zen Aqua.
ZenAquaDisplays.com. Yeah. So one of the big issues I always had was with the website. So I just recently made it a little easier, because the first one I had was like, it was just something that I threw together.
Mm-hmm.
So
we all have that.
Yeah.
We all go through that.
So this is still a work in progress, but
that's nice.
It's like 80% there, 90% there. And I just wanted it very basic too, just like something that people could click on, see a couple pictures, because I really want like the social media, like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, to be like, if you see one of my videos or something on that, you already know what you're going to be looking at.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't need to explain it to you on the website. That's going to be like where I'm going to try to like put it out there at.
Well, but you never know. By surfing through Google, people can just stumble upon it.
Yeah, I'll probably add like a little gallery section just so you could see. And like,
Yeah, definitely do that.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, so far so good, man. These pictures, and they've been pulling me in. I want one. I want one. I want one. I want one.
Thanks. Yeah, I gotta, mostly just stuff I gotta fix, like with the image sizes. You see, it's like a little cropped up there, but yeah, I mean, it's mostly done. Those are just test listings. I'm not actually charging $1 million.
I like the shoes.
Yeah, that was one of the default ones. So.
I'm like, those are pretty sick shoes.
Right?
They do look nice.
What you're doing is just amazing and innovative, and I love it.
Thank you.
Really love it.
Thank you.
I hope that, because I know that everybody sees them and loves them, but I hope that people are buying them. So how are you doing in that aspect?
So that's like kind of sort of the stuff that I'm trying to work out right now. It's like the best way to sell them.
Okay.
Because like I was saying before, like I kind of just got thrusted into it.
Yeah.
Because George found me on Facebook. He's like, come set up a booth. And it was like 3 months before the show. So I had to literally like bust together a whole bunch of stuff to sell and make display tanks and stuff like that in 3 months, and then figure out how I'm going to get it down there and set up a booth. So I threw it all together. And then like, trying to figure out the best way to sell them and how much to sell them for, and the best way to ship them, and where to get like all the, the bowls and stuff, like, because I make the stands, but like the bowls and the vases and stuff, I don't make those. So like sourcing them, because they're, believe it or not, when bowls get bigger than just like a regular, like a 12-inch bowl like this, they get really, really expensive because there's not a huge market for them.
Right.
So I've been trying to figure out a way to get them cheaper, because honestly, it's like half the cost of the whole stand, and the light too. Like, see that those lights, people love them because they're they're made of wood, but honestly, like they take me longer to make than the whole stand itself. So the reason I have to charge what I'm charging is because it takes me, so long to put those lights together, and then it's also like a liability thing. I don't want to, if someone, because I didn't wire a light correctly and someone burns their house down, I don't want to be allowed. As much as people like those wood lights, I need to. I have something that I'm working on right now, but maybe it'll be like a specialty thing. Like if you want to pay extra for it, I'll make one, and I'll make sure it's nice. But that's one of the big things.
Okay.
But and then also just like the logistical end of it, of like shipping them, because shipping glass and big bowls and stuff could get expensive because they take up so much space, but they're so light.
I didn't think about the shipping aspect of it.
Yeah, because some of these bowls are 16, 18 inches in diameter, and then you got to have a couple inches of cushion, and then if I'm sending a stand with it too, it's like a huge thing.
Yeah.
So, I'm working out like how to ship them. Like, do I charge shipping? Do I incorporate it into the price? Like,
right.
Then basically, mainly the thing I'm trying to do is like sell all-in-one kits.
Yeah.
And then I want to kind of like break it up and then like sell the bowls, just because I've had more people asking me like, where do you get the bowls? Like, where can I buy a bowl? And there's really not a good place to buy bowls right now.
Right.
Because the places I get them from, like the distributors here in the U.S., like I get them from an event wholesaler. And they're like ridiculously expensive because they don't sell any of them.
Right. We used to have in town, called Libby Glass, and that's what they did. They made glass.
Yeah.
And we used to could get stuff like this made. I do believe they shut down during COVID. And I don't know. I know they have another place, but I don't know where they went. It'd be awesome if you could find a place like that, like an actual glass making place.
Yeah.
I believe that would probably be a really good way to go. It would have been, if you were down here, that would have been the direction I would have sent you. Because you can get them at wholesale prices.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. Your specifications, right there. You just tell them what you want.
Yeah, because right now a lot of these glass bowls and stuff, they come from overseas, and with all the supply chain stuff right now, like I have a few different people I try to get them from, and first thing is that they're very expensive. Two is that I got to get them shipped to me, and then I got to ship them back out. So it's like, you know, for a bowl like that you see in there, like it might cost me like $60 just to get it, and that's like ridiculous. That's like crazy expensive because I know that they're not paying $60. You know, they're not paying $40 for them. They're buying 1,000 at a time, and they're probably paying $1 each or a couple bucks each.
Right.
But the problem is when you order 1,000 of them, 100 might break during shipping, and and then like to ship it. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like things like that. Which I'm trying to work out. But ideally, if I could find a place here in the U.S. that could just make them, give me a price, and I could go pick them up or ship them, buy a couple hundred at a time. That'd be the best thing because I really don't like dealing with, stuff overseas and having to worry about it shipping and waiting 3 months and stuff
Well, maybe with this interview going out, maybe we can get some leads for you. And I'll see if my uncle who used to work at Libby Glass, I'll see if they moved or if they just shut down completely.
Or even if they know any other glass people like closer to me. Like I'm in New York, so in the tri-state area or up north, I wouldn't mind driving to go pick them up. But
so in all actuality, it's cheaper right now for people to pick these up at the trade shows than it would be for them to get you to ship one to them.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, like I said, for me to ship, like I can't ship a big bowl like that in a flat rate box,
Yeah.
The little stands, like a small stand, I actually made them so that you could disassemble them. So I might be able, those are cheaper. It's mostly just like the glass bowl and the lights. Everything that doesn't have to do with the stand itself is like all stuff I'm trying to figure out,
Right.
That's another shot of one of the ones I put together.
I mean, it's just beautiful. It is. It's just, to me, it's so simple, but so complex at the same time.
Yeah, it looks nice. Yeah, I like it. I got that right in my room here.
That's awesome. And again, that would be kind of like the basic, except not so long of a over the top, but
I was going to sell that one, but I couldn't because I liked how the branch looked. So I kept it. I'm finding that a lot. Like I'll put together something and don't want to sell it. Because I feel like I could put it together. Yeah. Because I feel like I could put together like a really nice stand and a whole display and like make a video and take pictures of it and, use that as advertisement,
Yep.
So it's not just because I really want it. It's because I see something in it that I think is like photogenic. That's my shrimp bowl that I was telling you about that I cleaned out the other day.
Now, so you have this one, you have the wood coming up out of the water. Does the water ever continue going up the wood and get waterlogged, or it just stays right there and the top stays dry?
I think it depends on the type of driftwood. Like I'm pretty sure that's a piece of Malaysian driftwood.
Okay.
So I think it's just a little more dense, so the water doesn't travel up it as much.
Okay.
But I've had one setup that I had where I had the wood. Most of the time it's not a problem, but I don't know what type of driftwood it was, but I had one where the water is traveling up it and then it started to get all moldy and stuff like that. But most of the time it's not really an issue. People do paludariums with this sort of stuff. They do terrariums and it's really not a big deal.
So do you put a lacquer over it?
So there's a couple different finishes. So I experimented with a whole bunch of different ones. I originally was using this very heavy duty polyurethane finish that they would use for like sailboats and stuff.
Okay.
Which, obviously is very weather resistant, waterproof, everything. It's because, if someone spilled water on it, I didn't want the, wood absorbing it.
Right.
And, causing any issues. But then over time, that stuff was just so hard to work with. It's like literally like glue. So I'd only use that in certain situations, but mostly like just different types of polyurethane. I've tried lacquer, different finishes, like oil finishes, stuff like that.
Okay. So that they were.
To see I don't know if you've heard of it, but I think it's pronounced shosugi bond, where they torch the wood and then wire brush it and then wipe
like
it down.
Joe did my beta barracks back here behind me. He burned the wood and it's supposed to make it
water resistant.
Yeah, pretty water resistant.
No, I've never heard of that.
Japanese tradition
Yeah.
that they've done for.
It has its own look for sure, but it is pretty in its own way as well.
I gotta look into that. I've never heard of that. That's cool.
And you get to play with a giant propane torch.
Yeah.
And who
That's always
doesn't
fun.
love that?
Playing with fire, yeah.
Yep, that's right. So
Yeah, that's-
the lights, you don't go to Walmart or wherever. Where do you go to get these kinds of lights? Because you're not using like aquatic lights.
yeah, and that's another part of the reason why I want to try to figure out a solution for the lights, because they're basically just like kitchen cabinet lights, because they're low wattage and they're made to be attached to wood, so they're not going to like get too hot where they're going to burn the wood and set a fire off. So they're low enough wattage where they don't get hot enough to do that stuff. But that's an issue for me, because like, if you want to do a high-tech setup with really intricate plants and stuff, you can't really use that. Like, that's good for like low-tech plants, as you can see in that one. I've got like mosses and nubius and stuff like that, but it wouldn't be, and especially for the bigger bowls, like it's not ideal.
Right. Okay, so
That's just one of my rabbit snails. That's unrelated to any of the wood stuff, but
there we go.
Exactly cute.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty.
yeah, that's a square one that I did for one of my pet stores near me. So I went into them, and I'm pretty friendly with everyone there. So I was telling them what I was doing, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you make a couple of them, and we'll just have them on display here." So I was like, "Okay, I'll make some." But they weren't really like crazy about the bowl setups, because they were like, the filters are kind of hard to get for it, and if we sell one, like, people don't know, people have a hard enough time setting up a regular square fish tank as it is like a new person going into a pet store looking to get a fish tank. So you can imagine with the bowl set up like an intricate thing like that, So like, can you make a couple square stands? Because we have these all-in-one tanks that we could just, we throw it right on there and we could sell it as a kit. So I made a couple like that, and that was one of the ones they just set up as display.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's understandable, but I'd still be like, well, go with the cylinder one, not the bowl one.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to do that as like a test, just to see like what sort of reception people are. I do have some ideas for square tanks and stuff like that too, like square stands, like on the live edge slabs. But
and it is handy to have the tanks that are all in one.
Yeah, they're easier to sell, and they got the black background already and stuff like that. So
just give it 45 minutes. The bowls will be the new hot shiny thing again, and
I hope so.
Oh, they will.
I was just
especially once everybody sees what you're doing with them.
Yeah.
You want to get in front. I'm telling you what. I'll bet you your best bet is going to be getting in front of importing bowls for when it does come back around.
Yeah.
You'll be the go-to guy.
Yeah, that's one of the thoughts that I had. I'm working on some stuff right now. I'm trying to figure it all out. But
and that one's kind of like an in between a bowl and a cylinder one.
Yeah, that one's like that's exactly. That's what I like about all the glassware and stuff. You get different shapes and sizes and stuff. And if you do, it's like the same concept. If you do it in a bowl, that one's actually a little bit better than some of the other ones, because it's got a big opening on the top.
Yeah.
So it's like better, for the gas exchange.
Right.
And light diffusion and stuff.
Yeah.
Each and every piece I make is different. Earrings ship in smaller envelopes.
Sarah Mahalik of Charged Glassworks uses Staples.com to find the right supplies for her business at the right price.
For now, I'm a one-woman show.
Do what you love with help from Staples.com.
So you haven't found a light, an aquatic light that would work?
So no, it was very difficult. You see that one right there? If you go back.
Go back one.
Yeah, you see that light?
Yeah.
I basically retrofitted that light. I bought one and I disassembled it and I retroed it onto that stand. That's sort of the light I'm trying to get. And I actually, at Aquashella a couple weeks ago, I was talking to Corey from Aquarium about this, and I was asked, because he's obviously he's got a big pet store, and he does a lot of the products and stuff. So I asked him, I said, do you know anyone that makes a light like this, or do you know where what I could do, and he gave me a lot of good information on like getting custom made lights and stuff like that. So I'm working with
there
the company so I'm going to try to make something like that. And I have yet to find a small pendant light, because like there are companies like Sun and Kessel and like that make those, but they're $200, $300 each, and they're big. They're like they're like this. They're too big for a small bowl. So there's no company that makes one like that. So I'm working with a company to try and make lights like that, and I'm going to be hopefully selling them separately as well, in addition to the stands. That's eventually what I'd like to do, is sell the kits, but then also sell all the accessories on the side, like the filters for the bowls, and make it like that,
one-stop shop.
Yep.
Or replacement, stuff goes
replacement.
out.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
You go back to where you got it from.
And ultimately, like, people like the wooden lights, but like, I'm sure they'd like getting a stand for like, $60 or $80 less than a wood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Just make it an option to add on a wood light, and if it like costs you $60, charge no less than $180, and then people can add that on if they so desire, or they can use a regular light.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm planning on doing.
Now that one, I haven't seen that one
before. If I
before.
saved up for your tank, I would definitely save up for the wood light too.
Yeah.
Be like, whatever, I need it.
That's a tall one.
Yeah, that's tall. That's probably about 4.5, 5 feet.
Wow. So it doesn't you can't see the base. How big is the base?
It's the same size as the top.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just, it looks a little weird in that picture, but the pedestal, as long as the weight is straight down and it's not like, teetering like that, it'll be fun. You don't need a really big base for it. You just put feet on it, and as long as no one pushes it or anything, it's not really going to go anywhere.
Right. I just see my dogs running and hitting it, and then they just.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, so many people at the show came up to me, and they said, "Oh, I love these stands, but I have a cat, and they would just wreck this whole thing. Do you make them cat proof?" I'm like, I don't know. I just found out I was coming to this show 3 months ago. I don't know. So.
A cat-proof wood stand is not a thing. Cats love to scratch wood.
And
so
jump on high
like
things.
a concrete wood thing.
Right.
I
mean,
God bless. I'm not sure how you do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's that's an impossible question.
Yeah.
Unless you like drill it into the ground, somehow attach the base to the actual floor.
There's no way. It's impossible.
Right.
Just because it's wood.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, a cat's going to scratch it. It's going to be all torn up, and they're going to ruin it.
Right.
Well, while you're making the cat-proof one, could you also make me one that just levitates midair?
I've thought about that.
Just floating.
Right.
That would actually be super sick if you mounted it on like invisible wire from the ceiling.
Yeah, I've thought about ways to do that, but I have a lot of ideas that I want to do. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas.
Are you aquascaping these yourself?
Most of them, yeah.
Wow.
Like that one was mine. Yeah.
You got a bit of a talent there too.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very like I like low tech aquascapes. So like that is just there's no CO2. I don't put fertilizers or anything. I just plant it. I like easy plants.
Right.
I've tried the high tech stuff, and it looks really nice, but it's more work. I don't like work.
Now, is this?
That's one of my friends.
Okay. That's awesome.
So yeah, I owed him a favor because he took me out on his boat fishing one day. So I said, all right, you take me out fishing, I'll make you something for your fish tank. And so I made him. You see that like the wood light right there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I made him that for his fish tank. Yeah, and he's a professional like photographer and videographer and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So I told him, like, if I make you something, I'll do it for free. Just take some sick pictures of your whole setup. So that's what that's from. And then, he hopefully down the road, I want to get him involved in this sort of stuff because he's really big into fish tanks. He's got a reef tank now. He's got like a gecko setup. He's got all sorts of stuff. And and he's really good at what he does. So, you know, once I start making consistent income from this, I want to have him photograph everything, record videos, everything, you know.
For real.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And again, simple, but freaking amazing.
Yeah. And it just adds a lot, you know, instead of just having a light sitting on top of the tank.
Yes.
That was another square one that I tried.
Yep. See, I've got a 15-gallon cube now, and I don't have a stand for it.
Mhm.
So I've been like, in the back of my head, I'm like, my dad's an arborist.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you'll get one eventually. Don't worry. It's I have a lot of stuff on my plate right now, but once I get situated, and like the other thing too is right now I'm just doing this out of my garage, so like, I don't have a lot of storage. I don't have a lot of like I recently moved in the last few years, and at my old house, my dad had a big shop, 2 floors, like all the woodworking tools you ever needed, and we sold it all because we were moving, and my dad's kind of like retiring, you know, kind of like semi-retired, so he didn't need as much stuff. And then, of course, as soon as we moved, like a couple months later, I start getting into all this stuff. You know, so right now,
Dad, I need that stuff back.
Yeah, and so like that's another issue too. Is like I have all these, like in an ideal world, you know, I want to build a stand for whoever wants one. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like I'm trying to balance because like the stands.
Oh, and you have a full-time job as well.
Yeah, so like I want to make stands for people, and I want to do like video collabs because you know, a lot of people came up to me and want to do, you know, like this. They want to do interviews, they want to do videos together, and I want to make stands for people, and I want to do that full time. I just need to start making a little bit of consistent money from it to the point where I could like scale back my job and put more time and actually go around and travel and like meet these people and you know,
and that's the hard part. That's the hard part is juggling the two and then finally letting go of the one. And in my case, I wasn't like the breadwinner per se. Yeah. But in your case, you are, you know, so it's a little bit more difficult than it was for me than it will be for you. But I mean, vice versa. It'll be more difficult for you than it was for me. But, and it, you know, I hope for you that it's just gonna boom, and you're gonna be so overwhelmed with so many orders that you're gonna have to quit your job.
Yeah, well, I have a couple ideas that I'm working on.
Okay.
Because one of the things I found out at the show is like, even though I try to price and a lot of people have said like the prices that I'm asking are like very, very reasonable. A lot of people don't have, you know, like $300 or $400 to spend on a stand, you know, with a little fishbowl. You know, you could buy a full 55-gallon setup for that price, you know. True. But I have a couple things in the works, you know, like what I was telling you about the lights and trying to get cheaper bowls and stuff like that. So I have other things besides that that I'm like working on to hopefully bring like very much more cost-effective stands. Yeah. So,
and I think the more people you meet and, you know, confide in them, you'll learn that they'll just about do whatever they can to help you out. Yeah. You know, to try to find these things.
Yeah, that was Chicago. Believe it or not, Orlando, for some reason, like, the sales sucked. The first show we did, I sold a couple. The last one in Orlando, I sold maybe like 4 or 5. But in Chicago, I sold almost every one.
Dang.
Yeah. It was like substantially like.
And that was closer to home.
Substantially better. Yeah. I think it's because in Orlando you get a lot of tourists and people flying and they can't bring it home with them and like I don't know what it is, but in Chicago we did really, really well. And then I heard Dallas was really good too. So I'm expecting similar, you know, because Dallas is less of a touristy area and just get a lot of local people. So
Dallas is amazing. And actually up until Orlando of this year, Dallas was the biggest show. So I don't know how it's going to compare this year to Orlando because Orlando was pretty big.
Orlando, I was talking to Sean and George, and they were saying that even though for some reason I felt like last year was bigger, I don't know if it's just because everyone was like really hyped up and in a really good mood because fish shows are starting to come back and finally things are starting to reopen from COVID.
Right.
So I think there's just a lot of energy at the first show, but they sold more tickets for this most recent one.
Yes, definitely. This was bigger. Well, you had a bigger booth this year too, so.
Yeah, and it was also, I think they took up more of the space in the convention center too, so it's more spread out.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I was happy.
Yeah.
So in the future, we're trying to sell more so you can scale back on your real job. Now, is your real daytime job set up so that you could go part-time?
Well, so right now I technically am part-time.
Okay.
I work from home. I do customer service.
Okay.
But I like the way it works is like I basically can work up to 40 hours if I want to, but then the weeks I don't want to work 40 hours, I can scale my hours back. So they're always giving overtime and stuff like that. So I'm part-time by choice just because like there's really no reason for me to go full-time. I could work full-time the weeks that I want to, and then I could just work part-time the weeks that I want to. But right now I need the money, so
sure.
I pretty much work full-time. I'm actually working a little later. Just picking up extra hours on the weekends and stuff like that.
Right. That's a beautiful scape.
Yeah, thanks. That stand, I bought that cylinder aquarium at Aquashella Orlando last year. Yeah, and I had to buy it. That's about 10 gallons. And I made the stand for it. And I made like I retrofitted a light onto a piece of wood. And all the stuff in the tank, all the plants, the driftwood, the rocks, everything came from the show.
Oh, sweet.
That's why I put that little Aquashella plaque on it.
That's cool. Well, I like because this one is different because you have the piece at the top.
Yeah.
Like a lid, but it doesn't go, it's not like all the way through.
Yeah, it's still open at the top.
Right.
And that was actually at Orlando this year.
I see that.
It's just in the back corner.
Yeah.
I took it down because I wanted to display it. And also I needed to clear some room for some more stuff.
Always got to make more room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. That one with they call that, what do they call that when you put something on the top of the fish tank? It's called,
like a shoot. What's his name uses his, nope. From, tank. They use them. They call them. Is it like a grating? Is it, or like a piece of like clear plastic?
Well, it's whatever they make it out of. To set on top.
Plexiglass.
No, it can be made out of anything. Like they put it around the bottom, and then they also have it to set on top to kind of blend in with everything. I don't remember what it is, but that's what it reminds me of. I'll figure it out. Figure out what it's called, and let you know. But that's what it looks like to me. It looks like a tank. What one they would use in bigger form. Of course, that would be like gallons and gallons more. But
it's funny.
Like propanod, but that's not what it is.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. It does seem familiar.
Yeah.
And it's funny you bring that up because a lot of people were saying like, oh, you kind of remind me of like of tanks where they make these like cool displays and everything. Yeah. And I know that Brett Raymer's at like every Aquashella. I still haven't got to meet him yet. I want to meet him.
Oh, dude, I'll definitely hook you up next time for sure.
Cool. Yeah, the next one in Dallas, I definitely want to meet him. Like I was saying before, it's just like so many people. It's so overwhelming. Like I just don't get a chance to meet everyone,
Right. Even with doing the interviews, I think I got 12 or 13 interviews in, and 12 or 13 is like a minute amount of people that were there, right?
Yeah.
So but that's all the time that I had. I ran out of time by doing interviews, and you've seen me. I was all over the place. But it's so many vendors.
Yeah.
But I tried to get a little of each section, salt, art, salt, fresh. So,
Yeah.
but I did get Brett because we wanted to talk about his new app. I haven't put that
Oh,
one
yeah.
out yet, but
I saw him talking about that. It's like a fish keeping care app or something like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. He definitely explains it way better than I do, but yeah, something like that. So this piece of wood right here,
Yeah.
did you cut it up or did you leave it like is?
So that one is still in my garage, just as you see it there.
Okay.
I have an idea of what I want to do with it, but again, it's all about like the space and the time, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of work for what
Right.
I want to do with it. I have a lot of pieces, not a lot, but I have quite a few pieces like that where I want to make them into like displays.
Yeah.
That would be like a much bigger one.
Yeah.
I just don't, like I said, I don't have the room to display it. I don't have anywhere to put it. And
Right.
I need to, the thing is, like, part of the reason I want to get this business going is not just so I could, to be honest, money is like the secondary thing. I would be doing this like regardless of whether I got found by George or not. Like, I'd still be making these displays for myself and doing all that. I want to make money so that so I have funds to be able to like maybe rent out a shop and like an actual display place so I could do these really, because like from what you guys have seen are just a lot of the stuff that I only have the capability of making right now, but I have a lot of really cool ideas for big, like really big stands and like big displays and stuff.
Yeah.
That a lot of people would really like a lot, and I just don't have I don't have the justification to be putting like, a lot of these things might cost me thousands of dollars to make, and I don't have anywhere to put them.
Right.
So I can't really do them right now, but I have like
you need like a gallery, like a big showroom gallery, and then like behind the gallery is where you make everything. Big shop.
Exactly. I need like a shop and a little not like a retail space, just like a showroom basically.
Right. Yes.
Or like, even if if my house was bigger, like, if I was in my old house, like I was telling you before, I would have had like a lot of room that I'd be able to do this stuff. But because I had a big shop, it was 2 floors, so the top floor I could set up all this stuff and like set the tanks up, but I don't have that anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of sticking to these small displays. And I'm actually, to be honest, like people, they know me for like the planted tanks and the small tanks and everything, but I like, I'm really into like, I love monster fish too. I love huge fish tanks. Like I had at my old house, I had a koi pond, and like I've had, all sorts of other fish too. So, and I have ideas for stuff like that too that I want to get into, but I just, it's all about the space. Same problems that every other fish keeper has, just like not enough room, not enough time and everything. So I'm hoping this business allows me to be able to do more stuff like that. So
well, I definitely think you're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, thanks.
And I do and will own one day.
Yeah, you will. Don't worry. I'll make sure.
You can hook me up, huh?
Yeah. That was the display tank that we raffled off at the first Aquashella.
Oh, okay. Now, did Lisa win it, or did she not win it? Ended up buying one.
No, she didn't win it.
She didn't win it. Okay.
Yeah. So she was trying to win it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she wanted it so bad.
I know.
She was telling me every time, like, she's like, I bought $100 worth of raffle ticket. I'm like, you're crazy. Like, so yeah, she wanted to win it so she could give it to Joanna.
Yep.
But they ended up not winning. So I said, all right, come by the booth. I'll help you guys out.
Right.
Because I want to see you guys with these.
Yeah.
So they came by the booth. I helped them out with them, and they did their little videos on them too.
Right.
And they said that they love them. So
yes.
I'm glad. And like I said, I want to do that for as many people as I can find. I want to get it out there because it's exposure too.
Sure. Yeah, it is. Every time you go on like something like this, it's just more and more.
Yeah.
And now I like that set up there because it's multi-tiered.
Yeah.
You can do more than one.
Yeah, I like that too. the guy that won that is Aquatics,
Uh-huh.
and he has it set up really, really nice. Like I'm glad it went to him because he actually did set it up
Did
the way
something with it.
yeah, he did it really nice.
Good deal.
Still haven't started your Shopify store? What are you waiting for? Shopify comes with everything you need to start, run, and grow your business online for less than a cup of coffee per day. Go to Shopify.com and start your free trial today.
That's me and George.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's the display stand as well.
Okay.
Another video of it.
Now, do you auction one or raffle one off at every show, or you just did that one at that one?
I did that one. I did a couple small ones in Chicago because
Okay.
I realized like most people don't have the means to bring that home.
Right.
So, I figured it was better to make smaller ones that people could actually bring with them.
Yeah.
But this last show, I didn't do one just because I honestly slipped my mind and they didn't ask me. So I just kind of didn't do it and they're not doing it.
Yeah. Well, and then it kind of turned out to be a good thing because if you didn't sell quite as much at this one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's honestly, I do these shows mostly for exposure anyway, and just like meeting people and making connections and stuff. So, even if I don't sell that many of them, it's still fun for me to go and meet talk to all the people again and everything.
It's definitely good for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And these are a bunch of the small ones.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, is the one on the left, it's on a glass?
Yeah, that's like it's got a stem on the bottom. So,
like a wine, big wine.
Yeah.
Jug.
Yeah, someone was making a joke about that. Like I want to drink a cup of wine out of that.
Right.
Yeah. Those don't sell as much as the bowls, I found. So I haven't gotten them back in. When I expand a little bit more, I'll probably experiment with different shapes. But
I remember that one right there. That would have been a good one to have that fogger thing on it.
yeah, I tried doing it at in Orlando, but the thing is the fogger kept spraying the water all over the place. So it didn't really work out, unfortunately.
Now there's a short tier one.
Yeah, I still have that one actually.
Okay.
I'm hesitant to part with that one too.
Yeah.
The unique ones I like because I feel like I could turn it into something and make a video and get a lot of interactions on social media from them.
Right. Let's see. That was 2021.
That's me and Tanner.
Yep.
Yeah. Me and him are good friends now.
Good. He could get you some good publicity.
Yeah, yeah. We have some things in the works.
Good deal. So just packing up.
This is getting ready for the first show.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's my little garage.
Now that bowl is actually a lot bigger than what it looked like there.
Yeah, that's about 13 gallons.
Woo.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I need like 5 fish bowls in my life.
Now that one's cool. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that was just a shelving unit that my dad made, and I was like, oh, let's bring it. We'll just put stuff on it.
Yeah.
And then that's just a tiny one. It's another one. We were just experimenting. Like I was saying, this show, we kind of just like threw it all together as quick as we could.
Yeah.
So we're just making whatever we thought people might want. So we kind of, put together a whole bunch of different things and just trying to see what people liked and what people didn't like.
Right.
So cool.
Thanks.
Definitely.
Also, I live on the other side of the country, but once you figure out how to do this, I would like to be your first franchisee.
Okay.
I totally get behind playing in the wood shop all day long with fish tanks.
Yep. And then these are just like pictures before I even really started getting into it. These are just ones that I made for myself. So like that one I had set up in my living room for a little while.
Is it hard to find places to hide the heaters?
You know what?
Bowls?
If you plant the bowl properly and you scape it properly, it's pretty easy to conceal it. It's mostly the wires coming out of it.
Yeah.
I've been trying to think of ways to like conceal the wires too, but it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if you could even drill anything. I don't think you could drill those bowls.
Yeah, and then it's just getting to the point where it'd be like, oh, it's more work, too expensive, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and then if I break a bowl, then it's costing me money, and so
Right.
you know, at the wires, you could still kind of conceal it behind it,
Or make it look like a twig.
Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, there's all stuff I'm thinking about,
Sure.
you know, to make it more aesthetic and stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully soon, I'll figure out the formula.
And I'm sure people give you all kinds of ideas when just talking to you about things.
I've gotten some really good ideas.
The secret's out. Now with Xfinity, get gig internet and unlimited data with Xfinity Mobile, and you could save more than $800. Gig speed internet and wireless. Now
And then I think that's it. I think that's the first picture I put up. That was when I was first starting to, like, you know, when I realized that I might have something going.
Yeah.
So I made an Instagram and I started posting on Instagram. So yeah, that was one of the first ones that I made.
Is that at the Shelly tank?
A what?
A Shelly tank.
No.
Shelly.
That one I actually just set up just to take pictures.
Okay.
I don't remember what I had in there, but I remember I just had it set up for like a month, and then I just took it down and put all the fish in another tank I had. Or I don't even think I had fish. I think I just had a couple of shrimp in there.
Right. I remember in Orlando 2021, and y'all didn't have anything in the tanks, even the ones that you had water in. And when I came by, I was like, y'all need to go over there and get some bettas and put some bettas in there.
Yeah,
because if you show people, it's kind of like you got to give them the idea. Like you know that they think they can put a betta in it, but if you show them they can put a betta in it, it's even better.
Yeah, that for the future shows, one of the issues is, you know, it's really just me, my dad, and then my brother tries to come whenever he can.
Yeah.
So we spend all day just setting the booth up, and then I like barely have time to aquascape and set the bowls up, and then I got to figure out what booth am I buying fish from, and where am I getting plants, and how am I going to aquascape. So for future shows, my dad and I have planned out what we're going to be, like how we're going to do it, because it's just like way too much work. We're going to, we have a process in mind what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
And it's going to be way easier. It's going to look a lot nicer. It's going to, you know, we're going to make like some nice live edge shelves that are already pre-wired and like everything like that. So you just 1, 2, 3, set them up, plug everything in, and you're good to go.
Right.
So I could spend more time. And also I'm going to see if I could get like a buddy to come down and help me, and, you know, he could like unpack all the stuff while I'm setting it up, or, you know, we'll work something out. But,
I mean, it ain't no joke setting up some of these booths.
The Awase booth with all those aquascapes, they have a team of like 20 people, literally for like 2 days. They get in there before everyone and they leave after everyone. They just constant, and they have hundreds of plant cultures and stuff. It's crazy.
It is. It's insane. If you can get in there and watch them, and I mean, everybody's nonstop for 2 days prior to the event, and then it's like, then you got to do the event. By the time you're done, it's like, I don't
you gotta
care
take it all
anymore.
Yeah, and then the other issue too is like, if I buy a bunch of fish and do these display tanks, like, all right, well, now I got to get them home, you know, and I got to set up a tank for them at home.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, the problem is with the betta, like every time I go, you know, MB bettas. They have all the bettas.
Oh yeah.
Every time I go, because I helped him, I gave him a good price on a stand. I actually gave him one.
Yeah.
And I gave him a really good price on one.
Yeah.
And ever since then, he just gives me free bettas at the shows.
That's good.
So now I don't, you know, obviously you can't keep 2 bettas together. So like, I don't know what to do with all these bettas now. I have like 4 or 5 of them, and I'm like, I'm trying to reach out to my friends saying, oh, you want a free betta? You want a free betta? Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, it would be awesome though if they just kind of let you just rent one, or just have a few, and then you be able to give it back to them, or just give them out at the end of the show. Because
I could do that too.
A lot of people will take them.
You know what it is? I feel bad though, because he's giving them to me, and then you know, I don't want it. You know, I don't want it to look like I'm not appreciative of it. So I give them away. So that's why I keep them all. But I'll find friends that want them.
There you go. There you go. Well, Mike, it has been a lovely interview, and we actually made it to an hour.
Cool. Is that long? I don't know how long your
That's
interviews
perfect. That's good.
Oh,
That's good.
perfect.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Shanna. Always a pleasure, sweetie, for being my co-host.
Cool.
And I hope you get a lot from this, Mike.
I hope so.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Stream
Wow. That was neat. Lots of cool ideas for sure.
Definitely. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Sorry
My
about
favorite
the
was the
technical
three-layer
difficulties.
one.
Sorry about some of the technical difficulties, and of course, it ran some ads on us. Whoops! Ain't that
Yeah.
something?
You live and you learn.
That was
But yeah,
pretty good.
So now that we're at our mid-morning break time, is that what's next?
Yeah, we need to do some shout out to some sponsors here.
shout out time.
We go.
Hi, Fish Fam. Are you struggling to gain new subs or followers? Would professional graphics, captions, and ads help you to sell more products? Perhaps you need a marketing strategy that works for your business that is also cost effective. You're not alone. Millions of businesses across the world struggle with this problem. Good marketing plans, poorly executed, cost businesses billions in lost revenue each year. What is the solution? The Social Media Lady, a digital marketing agency. This team of seasoned marketing professionals works with your small business to plan and deliver a solid blueprint to drive more traffic to your website, YouTube channel, and social media. You can check out our work right here at the Aquatic Morning Show, as we currently provide their social media marketing as well as a majority of their graphic design services. When you decide you're ready to level up, schedule your free consultation at thesocialmedialady.com/fishnews.
You want to do the coffee cup ones, Dee Dee?
I will do that.
While you're getting that ready, I want to give a shout out to Zen Aqua in the chat there. Thanks for being in the chat, answering questions if anybody had some. And thank you for the interview.
Yeah, it's a young man with a bright future.
Yeah, most definitely.
Got to do something. Tried something new this morning.
I love shrimp.
Yeah, everybody loves shrimp.
I love shrimp. Good.
Something coffee. My mouse is not working with me today.
Apparently, was that you that popped us back up
Yeah.
on the screen?
I just happened to bump it with my elbow. I don't know what I did.
I hate when that
It's like,
happens.
oops.
That was funny.
Really?
Your face too.
It's like, oh my God, I didn't know how to fix it. Let me get back to this thing. This thing is just not working with me.
Make sure everybody go hit that short for today. Remember, 7 words. I love watching the Aquatic Morning Show.
Yep.
Let's see if I got it now.
Good morning, Nano Aquarium guy.
And also one of our sponsors, one of the big sponsors of this channel is Joe's Shrimp Shack. Make sure you go over there, use the Tim's discount code. It's good for up to 4 hours after the stream also.
And it's a good discount. Trust me.
like that says, there's always more room around the coffee table. The round table, we'll call it.
There you go.
So if you want to join or to be a coffee cup sponsor and join at the seat of the table for a cup of coffee, email Jess at the Aquatic Morning Show at gmail.com.
Yep. And Annette has graciously offered to make the coffee cups for whoever decides to be one.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's good. Thank you, Annette. We'll go ahead and go into this Alex report. Get some wonderful information. Like if you're like me, it just blows your mind trying to get all that information in there at once.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Yet again, it's Alex Williamson here with The Secret History Living in Your Aquarium, doing Fishtory, where I do brief segments on fish history, new academic research, old academic research, and everything in between relating to freshwater and saltwater fish or the hobby. So, today we're going to be talking a little bit about fish that make noise. Now, last week I talked about a cool new project called fishsounds.net, and it's a place where you can go and upload and or find noises that different species make, or unidentified noises that we're trying to figure out which species is making, like in a reef when you see a lot of fish but you can't target where it's coming from. And basically that was kind of a cool little program. Well, it turns out that there is some new research coming out, and it's pretty cool because a lot of times I jumped the gun on speaking there, but a lot of times fish have gotten the short end of the stick, and it has been assumed that they're dumb or ancient, and so therefore they're inferior in their evolutionary layout, so to speak. But it looks like a lot of fish can talk. So an article and a study was done by Cornell University. The authors looked at a branch of fish called ray-finned fishes. These are vertebrates that have a backbone, which comprises 99% of the world's known species of fish. And they found that 175 of the families, that's 2/3 of all fish on Earth, either do or likely do communicate with sound. So by examining the family tree and evolution of these fish, the study authors found that sound is very important in these groups of fish. It seems to have evolved at least 33 separate times in different lineages, and over millions of years, that biology became something useful in many different groups of fish. So at the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences, they had a quote that they put out with this, and the quote reads, "We're getting away from a strictly human-centric way of thinking. What we learn now could give us some insight onto how divers and other people working underwater may communicate. Our thinking continues to evolve and is probably just beginning to scratch the surface of the subject." So the scientists used 3 sources of information in this study, and they used existing records in papers that describe sounds fish make and the known anatomy of whether fish could make sounds, having the right tools to make sounds, like certain bones that they rub together, or a swim bladder, air bladder, lungs, certain muscles and sphincters that allow them to constrict and either spray out water or trap air and things like that. And then also they put new microphones in the water. And between all those things and examining the lineages between them, they found that 2/3 of fish probably do make sound. And sound communication is often overlooked, like within these fish, but they do make up more than half of the different species living in this world that are not insects or, other little critters. So all the vertebrates, half of them are fish. And the head of this research, his name was Andrew Bass, And that's right, he had a fishy name. He was
Since our humble beginnings in 1949, IF Anderson Farms has evolved into the world's largest.
He said that that probably they've been overlooked because fish are not easily seen or heard by humans underwater. And just because we can't hear them or understand them, we kind of just focused on whales and louder noises underwater. But fish have voices too. And so what they're trying to figure out is, what are the fish talking about? And pretty much what we know so far is they're talking about the same things that we talk about on the internet when you look in order of popularity, and that is sex, food selfies, food in general, and danger or conflict, averting being eaten, basically. And in the human terms, I guess that would be drama or danger and conspiracy theories and stuff. So fish pretty much talk about what humans talk about, just on a much simpler level. So I just thought this was kind of an interesting study to say that there were so many fish that talk. Of our aquarium fish also communicate this way. It may only be that they only have a few sounds for really important things like run or hey, it's mating season or whatever. But nevertheless, some of them are found to have 30, 40 different sounds that we've detected so far. And it may be that different combinations of those sounds mean different things altogether too. So some of these fish may have pretty complex languages. We know with mormorids that they do with electronic signals, and sound waves are just another wave or pulse to communicate. So it's not that far out there to think that perhaps there are other fish that communicate this way as well. So that's the little tidbit for today, and I hope you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Back to you, Jess.
All right.
All right.
That's pretty neat.
You wonder what your fish are saying about you behind your back right now.
Well, yeah, they probably call me,
Like, oh, Lord, here she comes again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if my shrimp run around screaming, "I love people."
Probably not. They're probably like, I would love for people to leave me alone.
They probably said, "Get me out of this glass box."
Right?
Like, what were you thinking?
It's crazy. Creative Coral Design. Hello, that's first one for me. Of course,
just talking and gossiping.
Dee Dee's about to. She froze on us. Oh, going down. Well, I say we'll go ahead and go over these events real quick, but I'm only going to do the first couple months. I ain't going to go through them all.
Yeah, I was about to say, we don't need to know what's going on in November and crap.
No. But I did add other stuff that was sent to me. The one that she was showing yesterday, for some reason, I don't know why it ain't updating for her. Because she did like a Google Doc slideshow type thing. I don't know. But the first thing that's coming up this weekend, I forget how to make this bigger. Oh, it's been a while since I did this. No, that ain't right. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
So this Saturday in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, there is a fish swap at that fish place. It's a $3 admission. Tables are $10 for members and $15 for non-members. Then we have a spring auction. Also, on this Saturday by Colorado Aquarium Society at the Bethany Lutheran Church in Cherry Hill Village, Colorado. That's pretty cool. Raffle silent auction, new and used equipment, fresh and saltwater fish. So they do a variety at that one. And we got a Repticon in Chattanooga, Tennessee at the Camp Jordan Arena in East Ridge, Tennessee. It's this weekend also. It's 2 days from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on both days for you reptile lovers. April 2nd. I was looking for the date, and there it is on the snake. From 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., it's a Rexpo. It's the spring one of 2022. And it is in Rochester, New York. That's cool. Then we got the Aquatic Expo in Georgia from the 2nd to the 3rd. Here's a new one. The Promic Valley Aquarium Society in Fairfax, Virginia. It's an all-day spring auction on April 3rd. And you got Tarifa Palooza, 23rd to the 24th in Orlando. And we got another fish swap in Illinois' Northbrook on the 24th from 10 to 2. Then you got Aquaticon in Knoxville, Tennessee. Very own Fish Room Fevers helped setting this up with his LFS down there. They're setting it up. It's a big expo center.
Wow.
And this is going to be the last one. On May 14th, Carolina Aquatic Expo in Fort Mill, South Carolina is having a show. It doesn't want to get in. There we go.
Well, the other day when you popped up in the stream, you walked into that pet store and you saw that snake. Did you get in trouble or did you walk away?
I walked away. Whenever they told me the price, I was like, I ain't getting my head cut off. Ain't happening. Not only was she mad that I brought brought a snake into the house, but that I spent that much money on it.
Wow. So I guess you really have to shop around when you're buying stuff like that.
Yeah. But fortunately, she likes frogs, so that's easy.
Yeah. Slide them right in there.
Well, she saw this paludarium. It's I think ZooMed makes it, and it has a 20-gallon tank on the bottom. And she saw that. She's, oh, man, that's pretty neat. I said, well, you don't understand what you can do with this thing. Set it up, and then you can have your frogs and stuff on the top, and then we can have fish on the bottom, some nano fish. She goes, oh, that's pretty neat. Looked at the price and said, we better save our money.
Oh,
just
what was it?
Paludarium itself, I think was like $300-$400.
Wow. That don't surprise me, though.
Mm-mm. Well, it's real big, though. It's not like it's small.
Yeah,
Right.
20 gallons, that's a lot of base, really.
Yeah.
Fisherman's asking if you're going to be at the swap this weekend.
He knows I am. He's playing games. Yes,
Oh,
I'll be there. Fisherman. I won't stand you up. Okay, I'll be there.
Maybe he's going to bring some pink flamingos to swap.
So, what are the big plans for tomorrow's show that is members only, or is there going to be one tomorrow?
Jess did not say. Now, she did say last week, the other day, that she may have to cut back as her busy season is starting to maybe once a month.
Right.
So I didn't think to ask, and she didn't tell me. I'm assuming it's going to be tomorrow, but that's just an assumption. And you know how those go sometimes.
Did we have one at all this month?
2 weeks ago, she had one. She missed last Wednesday. I think that's the first one she's missed. But yeah, she did say probably more like a monthly thing. And I get it because, she does that landscaping and that gives her a full day, not just a part of a day. Let's see, I'm at 11:33, so it's what, 12:33 for her?
10:33.
Okay. So, but it's hard to start work, at lunchtime. It really is, especially when you have to go outside in the summer.
Yeah.
It's not too bad on the rest of the year, but
Yeah, definitely when the summertime, like I get real busy myself because I can't sit inside. I got to go outside.
Well, I was kind of asking I was trying to frame it the right way to kind of explain to those that aren't members what some of the perks are, like the members only stream. And then I'm not sure because I haven't looked at all the tiers. Is it a discount also?
So with the memberships, there is a tier to it. The highest tier, I think it's like 10% whenever she gets her website back up and running. But everybody has access to the members only stream, and we do a open panel, and it's more personable. So you can talk about anything. It's pretty fun.
and she does have the discounts for like whatever level you are, a certain percent off of her store.
Right.
But the best part is just just chatting. So it gives people that maybe won't go up on a regular stream a chance to come up and get their feet wet, so to speak.
Because the only people that can see it is if you have a membership. So if you haven't streamed before and you would like to come up, break the ice, it's a perfect time to do it. No judgment. We don't have no judgment with that because honestly, we've all been there.
And if you have a question and you sometimes you just can't chat whatever your issue is going on in your tank or something, where if you're just up, it's just easier sometimes. And I get it why some people like to be on the screen because they don't have to type. And I've gotten spoiled sitting here with this keyboard to the point now that when I just have my phone with me, I don't want to type because I spend so much time trying to type, with your fat fingers and stuff. Where heck, I can do it so much faster on the keyboard. So it's like I just don't say anything, But we've been working outside, and when we moved over here, I got a wild hair, and I took. This is what I used, my reciprocating saw. And I chopped down a bunch of little trees like this big. And I have cleared out like 30 more feet of yard. And now we've finally gotten it cleared out and put us a picnic table back there. Of course, it don't have any grass, and it won't have grass because it's underneath the woodsy area. But it gives us a little bit more space with some shade for a place to sit down. I have my little hammock stand. So we've been working on that. And my next project is my ponds.
Yeah, I'm excited for this spring/summer and getting some outdoor tubs and ponds and all kinds of goodies outside.
Uh-oh. Yeah, see, I just pulled my booklet. But I got to read my book that Kelly Foreman recommended.
Oh, awesome.
And I don't really have any fish to go out in the pond this year. Believe it or not, I've gotten rid of everything that I didn't really need. And so I may be buying me some pretty goldfish to stick out there. But I've redone my pond, so I have one sitting on the deck, and it's going to overhang into the other one. They're 2 100-gallon ponds. Right. And I had seen that on J-Rock Does Stuff. And and he kind of inspired me to do ponds too, in a way. And So I'm gonna try to do something where I have where the water goes down into the second one and then back up.
Oh, okay.
Circulate. So
That would be pretty neat.
but I have to do my hard work stuff done first before I do my play stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I knew the feeling.
Okay, Dr. Anthony.
What's Dr. Anthony up to?
He says, I love the Amazon Research Center for Ornamental Fishing.
We love it. We love it too.
But that's a mouthful. It's a lot easier to say I love shrimp.
Well, he loves Orkoff.
Oh, okay.
Orkoff.
Yeah.
But speaking of,
Arkoff.
you need to make sure you get your little tickets pretty soon.
Yeah, because it closes the 31st.
Well, Skipper, did you say that your wife has agreed if you win to go with you?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Good. That's awesome.
I was listening to his stream when he was up there with Lefty last night, and the amount it cost to ship fish back kind of blew my mind. So I'm like, well, I don't have to get a second job just to do that.
Yeah, you have to pack a few dollars back to prepare, and the amount that you have to do that's the thing.
To
So I
meet the
guess you
minimums,
really
yeah.
need to work with somebody else and maybe split the cost or something. I don't know.
But I think, honestly, though, that would be worth it in the end because you did everything that normally.
Well, it's a
you don't
one-time
do.
thing, correct? Oh,
What? Oh, yeah, I know.
Bobby wants to go with you as your date.
Yeah, but the wife wants to go, so he's SOL.
So you know how it is, Bobby. If the wife wants to go, too bad. You just gotta stay home. But
yeah, I think it'd be pretty neat to bring back what you caught, especially if you got quite a bit, and just because of you did everything from the start, from whenever you get a fish, you know what I mean. That's what I like.
You know, if you were to catch just discus, you would it would pay for itself in the long run if you were going to buy a tank full of discus. How much is a decent sized discus? $80 to $100?
It's been a while since I looked. I can't answer that right now.
Yeah, but that's probably where I would want to go, just because I don't know. For some reason, that's the fish that I think that's what you would find all the time over there. But now these little shrimp, do shrimp come from over there too? These little cherry shrimp and stuff?
Not the cherry shrimp. He was talking about there's different species of shrimp down there.
Okay.
But they all have natural colors.
Yeah, they're not. Well, yeah, because the shrimp that we get, they've been bred so long to get the colors that we have. So in the wild, they weren't like that originally. Neither the Caradinas nor the Neos.
And the thing is, if they were, they'd be easy bait. Literally.
Yeah.
Because there'd be no camouflage.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Winky. Yeah, there's been a lot of knowledge shared in the streams lately that things I never even thought of, like since Dr. Anthony came on the scene, we're having like a daily influx of stuff that, you would only get from watching an interview, or somebody else's videos or whatever. Now we actually talk to somebody who lives that experience. It's awesome. And don't forget, we are going to give away a raffle ticket on this stream. And it's going to be coming up pretty soon.
Stay tuned. You never know when it's going to happen.
And who knows, it might be the lucky one.
Wouldn't
Make
that
sure
be
you comment on those shorts and videos that Miss Lori puts out there. 'Cause that's where it's going to come from, more than likely. Yeah, I would say wild shrimp are probably pretty clear, like they are in the rivers. Browny,
You got more
clear.
natural colors. They're not as bright. You know, the yellows aren't. They're not yellow and bright red or white. They're more camouflage. You know, I guess probably like just from what I know from fishing is that the fish they tend to, depending on their surroundings, that's how they color up. So I don't
Yeah.
know how. I don't know if you could put crystal red shrimp in a stream and they survive, and then that's how they come originally. But maybe there are some in the wild that are like that, just not all of them.
Yeah. Well, look, your bamboo shrimp, that's a form of shrimp, and they look like a tree root.
Yeah, the bamboo
Yeah.
shrimp, the vampire shrimp, the Amano shrimp. If you look at them, the colors that they are is just very bland, you know, so that they kind of they blend in with the backgrounds where the surroundings are.
Now, of my bamboo shrimp, I've got one that looks more twiggy than the others. I don't know if that's maybe a male versus female. I don't know. But it literally looks like a piece of wood, a twig laying, in the water. And like growing up, my daddy was a commercial fisherman, so during shrimping season, we had trawlers, and we'd go out there and catch the shrimp. But he knew uh, we had a season that had green tails. They were more greeny. I don't know if it was a different kind of shrimp, but more normally they're brown, sort of like your bamboo shrimp. Well, what you see, in the stores and all. But he knew that at certain points of the year, you went to the head of the river to catch them when maybe they were going in to lay their eggs or something, and that's when you caught them. And versus catching them at the mouth of the channel. But he knew
Oh,
all that kind of stuff and where to go at what seasons of the year. And one year, he was out there all by himself, and he caught so many shrimp in the net that the trawlers couldn't lift it. And it was
wow.
actually pulling the boat, and it was a 26-foot trawler, but it was pulling the boat under trying to lift it. And so a couple other shrimpers came up and they backed up their boats and they tried to help hoist it up, hook their hoist to it. They couldn't get it up. So the best thing they did, they just kind of drug the net to the shore, and he backed up, and he had a brand new John boat, and he went into the house, got it, took it down there, and dumped those shrimp in this John boat. And it wasn't a little teeny one. And then he just hooked the truck to it and pulled the whole John boat to the house. And back then, we always sold our shrimp out of the freezer 99% of the time because we shrimp whenever the tides told us to go. And then you just sold them as people came and bought them. So we would head them, and package them up in 2-pound bags. But that day for school, all of his little kids got to stay home because Daddy paid us 77 cents a pound to head them. And we could make money. And plus, it was like 12 of us heading shrimp. And, and you could do it like this, once you do it all the time. But we worked all day long heading shrimp. All day. Because you have to do it fast because, it's hot. And you have to keep putting ice on them and all that kind of stuff. But never seen that many shrimp in my life.
Listen here, you little.
Doc, you're lucky this is the morning show. So I gotta say.
Right? Come on, Doc.
Doc's feeling himself today. Maybe he's been drinking some of that water down there.
Yeah, probably. Do you have the
Yes.
streams for the next 2 days?
I sure do. And yes, Fishy Mom, we did oysters, shrimp, clams. I've done it all. Alrighty.
We've done the going out for clams and mussels before. That's fun. She froze on us. Well,
I love shrimp.
Love shrimp. Shrimp gumbo. My Forrest Gump. Oh man.
Right. And unfortunately, I'm not one of those shrimpers that is like, oh no, I won't eat shrimp. No, I eat shrimp. Sorry.
Yeah. Gotta eat some shrimp.
Just not the shrimp.
Well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she
hit the wrong button, probably.
No, her poor internet keeps going out on her, and
that's true. And I imagine seeing Dee Dee's computer with like 20 tabs open at all times.
Oh yeah. Well, I could tell you up next, we definitely have Rico Stand. I got a notification for it. So after this, everybody can head over there and
have
a good time listening to him talk to himself. I don't know why people like talking to themselves.
It's fun. I did a pop-up last week, and it was, I thought Brian was going to be with me, and then he ended up not. So I felt like at the beginning I was kind of just going to talk to myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Brooklyn, it's hard to flip a trampoline by yourself. It really is, especially depending on the diameter. If they're really big, it's hard to get the leverage to get them up on the end so you can flip them without help anyways. I had one fly over my fence from my neighbors and landed in my yard one time.
Oh, how do I... Oh, there we go. She sent it to me. Give me one memento here. 1 second. Share screen. This one. Here we go.
And Tuesday live streams in Eastern Standard Time. We started off our day with the Aquatic Morning Show on Maine's Tails Spurring Fins with Jess at 10. And at 12:15, we have Afternoon Chat Delight with Rico State. And at 4 today, we have the Danica Aquatics and Fingers on Loose. And at 5, we also have Mega Sister Rena. At 5:30, we have Swimming Against the Stream. We'll talk about Take Addiction with Chris. At 6:30, our Focus on interview with Rico State. And at 7, we have Miss Susan with SLC Watches. 7:30, it's Alex with The Secret History Living in Your Aquarium. 7:30 is also B. Wizzle and John the Fisherman. Aquarium Co-op at 8 p.m. At 9 tonight, you have Ladies' Night with 503 Aquatics, Shanna, Jess, and Dee Dee. At 9, you also have Bentley Pasco. And also on the 9 o'clock lineups, Catfish Terry. At 10 p.m., have a beverage with Dr. Black on Dr. Black 66. At 11:30, it's Misfits Aquatics and Reptiles with Brennan. And now for the Wednesday live streams. You have Father Fish at 9 a.m. It is followed by Flip Aquatics at 10. Next up, it's Joe's Shrimp Shack at 11. Following Joe's Shrimp Shack is the Aquatic Morning Show on Maine's Tails Fur and Fins members only stream at 12:05 p.m. Next up is Bird Garden at 1 p.m. with Rack. And then it's followed by Wednesday Weekly with Jimmy P's Aquariums at 2. And the Wednesday Hangout with Brienne's Fish Fam at 5 p.m. And Wednesday with Bob and Pam on Taylor Aquatics and Reptiles at 6 p.m. Next is In the Hot Seat with Rob 93 at 7. Followed by Keeping It Shrimple, Papa Shrimp at 8 p.m. Next up is Dan's Fish at 9 p.m. And also at 9 p.m. is Prime Time Aquatics with Jason and Joanna. Concluding Wednesday night streams with Monkey Paint, Pam and Bob at 11 p.m. And as always, Liquid Zoo, thanks for making this information easy to find at fishfam.com.
Yeah, buddy. That's some good jams on there.
Isn't that stuff cool the way they can throw all that on those programs?
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Let's get music.
It's a good thing you came today, Skipper, because it's like, that's twice today. This never happened twice.
Yep, and I don't have all the access to all the goodies, so I'm kind of useless. I'm just a pretty face on the panel.
Yes, you
That's
are.
right. But see, the sad thing is, I might have access. I don't know, but I don't know. I only push the wrong buttons. So, oh Lord.
Holy cow, we got 4 minutes left. Well, this stream went quick. Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty good way to do the interview too. Of course, you know, people didn't understand what was going on if they came in late, but
yeah,
you know, just try to explain it.
I
as
need
it
a
was.
tiara.
Yes, you do. You have to get you one of those Burger King crowns and decorate it.
Hey, that's a good idea. Or like, didn't they used to have it for like Long John Silver's, or what was the other?
Yeah, it was Long John Silver's. It had a crown, and so did Burger King.
Okay. But at least Long John Silver's is fish.
Yeah, yeah.
Joseph Stanley, I don't know why his thing was posted on the calendar, so I'm not sure. Stevens wasn't, but Dr. Anthony's was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. TNS Aquatics, good morning. Yeah, Dr. Anthony had a great stream yesterday. I was listening while I was working in the yard too.
Yeah, like I said, my son's in town for the week from spring break, so I'm hanging with him as much as possible before I send him back off to Arkansas.
Yeah.
You guys spend time with your family.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. You know, and that's like for me for weekends. Basically, you know, that's the only time we get to go anywhere because the kid's in school. And yes, at my age, I have a 10-year-old in school, so you know, I can't. even though I'm retired, doesn't mean I can just run the roads, you know, because
Yeah.
we have a school schedule. So whether she's here or there, even when she was going to the brick and mortar, we couldn't leave until after 8. You had to be home before 3, you know, so it's like you had to hurry. You were always hurrying if you went somewhere to make sure you're back home in time.
Right.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming to this today. First time doing a interview like this. Okay, Kurt. So thanks to mods, awesome mods that were posting the links and stuff like that, and for Zen Aqua for doing the interview with Jess. And that was pretty awesome stuff. I have to say so myself.
And thanks to our special correspondent, Shanna.
Yeah. 503 Aquatics for helping with the interview. That was cool. Into the freaking Eduardo. But we're going to go ahead and go out with the members song. Everybody have a good day.
Bye, y'all. Thanks.
Happy Tuesday.
I love shrimp.
It's a live ever mosh pit. So watch it, don't knock it, drop and fry every day, ain't gon' stop it. People saying hey and whoa and take it slow, it's out of control, but they don't know I got a mother loving biome. Nature! So leave it alone, they're doing fine in a happy home. Making babies with their fathers and mothers and sisters and brothers is kinda gross, but you know that's the way it goes. Now I'm in the midst of a colony blitz. It all started with the batch of fry. The mama died, but the baby survived and grew up and thrived. Then the guppies kicked the breeding into overdrive. What was accidental and incremental blew up into an exponential and totally mental experimental hit. And the fish police threw a fit. I guess they just couldn't handle my live bearer mosh pit. Best not front on me about this colony, 'cause you can't spell guppy without that one and only G. You might think from this rhyme that I'm mucking up guppy lines. Ain't got no crooked spine or time to hear you whine. Talk the fish police. I'm making hybrids I desire to acquire and combine entire lines designed to inspire and surprise and advertise the rise of my monkey fighting live bearer empire. You looking all distraught, you think it's overstocked, but you got no shot to sway me, you're an afterthought. Yeah, I got guppies getting blitzed on duckweed. Had enough of these, well they don't stop and neither do we. You might call it a challenge, it's a foot per gallon. Your rationale is sound, but it's a little unfounded, 'cause I'm gonna be crowned as the best flippin' mud guppy breeder around. On this earth, then my mutts, I assert, are gonna make you a convert to a chaotic tank that doesn't take much effort or the hand of an expert. Look, all I did was rap and 5 guppies just gave birth. Best not front on me about this colony, 'cause you can't spell guppy without that one and only G. You might think from this rhyme that I'm mucking up guppy lines. Ain't got no crooked spines or time to hear you whine, 'cause you best not front on me about this colony, 'cause you can't spell guppy without that one and only G. If you wanna do like I do, fertilize the plants with fish food. Don't fret about being overrun, just chill and have some fun. I got the new genetics for the color theoretics, a different aesthetic. It's cosmetic and frenetic. If you don't get it, I do. I got a vision, it's eidetic. And your derision, well, it's really quite pathetic. Uh-oh. Now you see a bunch of platies, they're looking fatty. You think it's fatty, and the plants are overgrown, getting kinda ratty. It's alright, little laddie. Just look me in the eye and tell me who's your daddy. Best not front on me about this colony, 'cause you can't spell guppy without that one and only G. You might think from this rhyme that I'm mucking up guppy lines. Ain't got no crooked spines or time to hear you whine, 'cause you best not front on me about this colony, about some algae. What, you afraid of shiznit getting too natural up in this biznatch? Good sir, dispose of your TDS meter, for it measures organic and inorganic solids, and it's more beneficial to learn the chemistry of your water. Thank you very much. If you wanna do like I do, fertilizing plants with fish poo, don't fret about being overrun, just chill and have some fun.